So, in the early stages of pregnancy, particularly in the first trimester, nausea, vomiting, maybe loss of appetite are going to be very common. Maybe smells totally turn you away from food. So, today I'm going to go over some tips to help prevent or avoid that or overcome that as much as possible. And I'd love to hear your feedback as to how this works for you. So, that nauseous feeling usually wears off as you become more active throughout the day. Some of you, I hope you all are taking your prenatal vitamins. Some of you may be taking your prenatal vitamins at night because you are feeling nauseous and are worried about throwing things up in the morning. You do want to take usually your prenatal vitamin with food. So that is okay, finding a way to work that out. One of the tips that I would give you all is usually set your alarm for about an hour before you plan on getting up and just allow yourself to kind of wake up before eating, okay? Or plan meals a little bit later in your morning. I would try to get breakfast in your system before 10 a.m. Having a stash of crackers or dry cereal by your bed may help with, getting something in your stomach without overwhelming it, making you feel sick. So that's something that could be very helpful for you. Small meals throughout the day are going to be most effective. I would recommend 5 to 6 small meals a day, focusing on high protein foods first if you can. The reason why we are dealing with some of this nausea is because progesterone, one of the main hormones that is secreted during pregnancy, it slows the speed of food passing through your digestive tract, so we're not feeling as hungry. We don't want your stomach to feel too full or too empty, so drinking fluids a half an hour before or after meals and avoiding drinking fluids with meals will help. We don't want it to get too full on the water or other fluids. We want to focus on the food. We do want to drink fluids throughout the day to avoid dehydration, though. So water between meals is the best choice when nausea or vomiting, anything like that is prevalent. Okay, rest. Plenty of rest when you can. You do not want to take a nap right after a meal because this can increase nausea, okay? So being up and at 'em a little bit before, a little bit after meals is probably going to be best. And then giving yourself about an hour or two before you lay down is going to be recommended. Okay, so what foods do I choose when I am going through this? Maybe there are certain foods that I'm avoiding, that I have food aversions because they're just seem very nasty. So I'm going to give you kind of a general breakdown of what that will look like and maybe some ways to help as well. So foods or smells that make your nausea worse should be avoided. Avoid being in warm places. Sometimes being a little bit cooler will help you eat, okay? Spicy and greasy foods or foods that have a really strong odor may give you more nausea. So sometimes bland, cold foods are going to be your best option, okay? You may have to avoid cooking the first trimester. Put your husbands to work. Get your moms and friends involved with some meal preparation. Going to bed early and resting up to have more energy for things throughout the day will be good. If you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, you can always eat something at night if you feel hungry. I always recommend eating when you feel hungry, okay? If you are dealing with this nausea and not eating a lot throughout certain times of the day, when you are hungry, go for it. Okay, so again, I mentioned cold foods or bland foods like sandwiches, raw vegetables, salads. We want to make sure that we are not doing prepackaged salads or things like that because our listeria risk is higher. I'm going to go into more detail about that if you watched kind of the prenatal general nutrition guidelines. Chicken soup, broth, or a plain baked potato work well. Talked about plain vegetables and fruit. We talked about meals small and frequently. Foods rich in vitamin B6 are also helpful. So those would be items like pork, poultry, grains and cereals, eggs, vegetables, soy, peanuts, milk, potatoes. Okay, some of that is a little redundant, but those are some good ones to try. Some remedies to help with the nausea include lemons. You can eat them, suck on them, sniff them even can be helpful. Ginger or ginger ale, ginger tea, ginger jam, anything like that can help. Peppermint tea, crackers, jello, flavored popsicles or pretzels. Those are all some good things that can help with the nausea. We talked about high protein foods first, cheese, yogurt, and nuts. You could also do too if milk isn't bothering you. Tuna or egg salad and crackers is something you could do if the bread seems a little too heavy. If you go multiple weeks with nausea and vomiting, I definitely recommend talking to your doctor. We can get you on an anti-nausea or antiemetic drug where hopefully that nausea is reduced and we're not vomiting. So I want to make sure you're getting food down, because if we're not getting adequate nutrition, neither is the baby. Other things I recommend: going for walks when food is prepared, turning on your vent stove or turning on the vent above your stove, using a crock pot or an Instant Pot where maybe the smells aren't as strong, keeping the windows open. Those are going to be good ways to make sure that the smell isn't too overwhelming and that you're already not wanting to eat before the food is served. So definitely let me know how those tips work out for you, and come see me if it's not working. We could come up with some other solutions. Hope you all have a good day. Thanks.